What's up, everybody? It's your boy Will Carter, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you guys are new here, welcome to my channel. Before we go any further, if you're not already subscribed to my channel, make sure you guys are hitting that subscribe button and also hit that bell notification icon to turn it on so you get alerted each and every time I make an upload. And if you guys want to check me out off of YouTube, you can go over and follow me on my Instagram page at I'm Will Carter. It's spelled exactly how it's pronounced, but you can also find it linked in the description box down below for your easy, convenient access. Today is a very special day because we are announcing the new collection from Queens of Garden, the Winter Blue collection. It's been a while since I released new fragrances and done like a whole collection, so I'm really excited to be doing it right now. Actually, I didn't think I was gonna make the deadline, but he made it. And now you can go over and shop the Winter Blue collection right now over at queensofgarden.com. queensofgarden.com. It's spelled how it's pronounced. We'll link her also in the description box for easy, convenient access. I decided to name this collection Winter Blue because I decided that I wanted all the vessels to be the same color, and blue was that color because I thought that it made the most sense since I was approaching the winter holiday, and blue, winter, I just felt like it was a good mix, so Winter Blue was a really good choice of a name for this collection. And as you guys know, the Queens of Garden labels that we have on the vessels, they are gold, and I thought that the blue vessels, more than any of the other color vessels that I have, look the best with the gold labels. To continue with the Winter Blue theme, I decided to change my product boxes to a blue color. Before it was like a rose gold color, but now they're a beautiful blue color. I'm using a cardboard material, which is a stronger material than I was using from the last one, where the last boxes got bent easily because it was more of a paper material, but this is a lot more sturdy, not as fragile. And we're using a white ribbon because the white on this blue, I just think it's just a beautiful combination. Great match. I was gonna go with the gold ribbon, but I think on the outside, simple is absolutely stunning, and this is how your candle comes packaged. And of course, we cannot ignore the stunning labels that we have for the candles for this collection. Now, I did use tag labels for the last collection, which was the signature collection, but what I did with those labels is that I used the same exact look for all the labels, and I just changed the name of the fragrance to match the candle, which was either like, you know, vanilla or cherry bomb or coffee cream or whatever it was, right? But for this collection, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to give every single fragrance in the collection its own label, and the design would match that fragrance. I thought doing it this way would really bring something different to the candles because of the simple fact that when you order your candles, they do arrive in the boxes. So you get like a really pretty box with a really pretty ribbon, but I also want you guys to enjoy the artistic design of each label depending on whatever one that you decide to buy. So of course, before we go, we have to go through each scent one by one and just talk a little bit about it. So we're gonna start with Candy Cane just because she's here. The notes in Candy Cane is eucalyptus, mint, and vanilla. So it's really giving you an actual candy cane, like a peppermint candy cane candy, which is why we call it, you know why we call it candy cane, stop playing. I remember growing up as a kid, obviously kids love Christmas trees, right? But my favorite part of the Christmas tree was the candy canes. I used to love the candy canes because I have a major sweet tooth, still to this day, major sweet tooth, and I used to love running to the Christmas tree behind everybody's back, and I would grab candy canes off the Christmas tree because we would decorate our Christmas tree with candy canes. But I was smart, right? I would go behind the tree to the back that was facing the wall, because we used to have a tree in the corner where nobody can really see it, and I would pull candy canes from that section, because if you were pulling it from the front, then like the adults would notice, like, wait a minute, what the fuck is going on with those motherfucking candy canes? Why are they not here? And I was the one eating them. Y'all remember, like, I'm sure they still have those, right? But like, I remember like one family, like on my mom's side, they used to buy like the candy canes that wasn't peppermint. It was like multi-flavor, like rainbow flavor. But you know, it was like multi-flavor. It wasn't like peppermint because it was like a rainbow color like candy cane. I used to love those, girls. If you are a fan of peppermint, this is the one to go for, but the vanilla accent in this does make it a little on the sweeter side, so it's not like a straight up strong peppermint like you would get from like an essential oil type of peppermint, but it's definitely very reminiscent of a candy cane peppermint from your Christmas memories as a child, right? I know you had candy canes in your trees. Don't lie. The next fragrance in the collection is a Christmas tree. Of course, we're staying on brand for like the Christmas holiday that's coming up, right? And obviously, you gotta put your candy canes on something, and that's going to be a Christmas tree. The main notes in this fragrance is pine, evergreen, and floral. I really think that if you're one of those people that loves the smell of pine, this is the candle for you. People really, really like that scent in their living room from their Christmas tree. But yeah, you got those people who get fake trees because, you know, it doesn't shed, you don't have to water and all that nonsense. But at the very least, if you get a fake tree, you can light this bitch. And then what's gonna happen is it's gonna be like you got a real tree, a real tree, not a real tree, a real tree, because you got her smelling like pine. This is her. I think I try my best to kind of have a fragrance that kind of falls in different categories, right? So like, okay, you want to do something more like fruity, something a little bit more sweet. You want to do something a little more earthy, something a little more floral. You know, this is really outdoorsy, right? You know, because it's pine, you know, it's evergreen, you know, it's definitely woodsy, but like not like dark woodsy. It's more light woodsy, very floral woodsy, right? And even though it's winter, and don't nobody want to go outside like me, you can still bring the outdoors indoors with the candle like this. Next we have winter berries. Winter berries this is definitely, without question, my favorite in the collection. It smells amazing. It's very sweet, very fruity. It's winterberry, champagne, and sugar. But I think winterberry in general, which is like pretty much the only berry you're really getting from this, smells really, really good. It's probably, in my opinion, the best smelling berry out of like the berry family. And of course, you know, if we're gonna be representing the winter season, I really wanted a candle that had winterberry, you know, because it's the winter fruit, you know? Well, so is cranberry. And I really wanted to bring something that I would like to the collection, which is something fruity. Of course, we're definitely always gonna have something fruity in the collection for me, and that's winterberry. So if you're looking for your fruity fragrance, this is her. Get her. Next up, we have Gingerbread House. Definitely one of the candles that is representing more for the holidays than it is for the season, because think about gingerbread and the festive holidays, and I remember making gingerbreads during like the holidays. I have a very fond memory of making one in school on the very last day of school before we were out on Christmas break. I was very young, maybe in 3rd or 4th grade, and that was a really fond memory because I enjoyed making that gingerbread house. It's also one of my favorites, surprisingly. The notes in it is caramel, cinnamon, and vanilla. And while those do smell good and it sounds good, it's typically not where I'm running to, but I really love the way that this smells, and I think it's more so because it's a little bit nostalgic for me. Now I really want to make a gingerbread house. Next on the list, we have Frozen Roses. This is like probably the prettiest label out of all. Girl, look at it. Ain't this label just, stop playing, bitch. This is another candle that represents the outdoors of the winter holiday, outdoors in the cold, because it's roses and sandalwood, but the sandalwood is really heavy. But it also has a slight little bit of sweetness with the fresh berries, which is a very unique twist on this. And when I smelled this fragrance, initially I was really confused by it, but I thought that the confusion of the fragrance actually made it really unique and made it really special. So I decided to add that to this collection, and I think this is probably one of the more sophisticated fragrances out of the bunch, whereas a lot of them kind of can be super more novelty a little bit, because like, I mean, come on, candy cane and pine and gingerbread, whereas this one has a little bit of a sophistication to it, you know? If you want something a little bit more mature, something a little more sophisticated with a little bit of a like sweetness, this is the one to go for. Plus, the label's gorgeous. So, I mean, come on. You're buying it just because of the fucking label. Shut up. And last, but most certainly not least, Jolly Fruit Medley. Jolly Fruit Medley was like the last addition to the collection because I knew I wanted to round out with like 6. Why don't I have something that's reminding me of the sweet dessert parts of like Christmas and, you know, all that stuff, right? So that's where the Jolly Fruit Medley comes from. It reminds me of, you know, going to like my aunt's house when I was really young, and even my grandmother's house, and she would always buy an apple pie or a cherry pie pie. Well, she used to buy cherry pies a lot, not so much no more. So that's the reason why I wanted to do this fragrance, which is mixed berries, orange, and vetiver, because it really reminded me of like those sweet pies and sweet desserts and sweet treats and custard little tarts that we used to have on the holidays. Because trust me, when I'm talking the nostalgic Christmas mornings I used to have, yeah, bitch, I was not running to a plate of like chicken, rice, and potatoes and greens. I was looking for the cakes. Was me. And there you guys have it. That is the Winter Blue collection. But that is not all. For the first time, we are also now offering our vessels without candle wax inside. So you guys can actually buy our vessels if you guys just want to use our vessels for planters, cup holders, just home decor, whatever you want to use the vessels for. You can now purchase the individual vessels by themselves. You have multiple options. This vessel here has sealer on the inside, a gloss finish on the outside, and the Queens of Garden logo on the outside, but you actually can purchase this vessel without either of the three. You can decide if you want the gloss finish, you can decide if you want the Queens of Garden label, and you can decide if you want the sealer on the inside. You can set all that up yourself over on the website when you're making a purchase for one of these vessels. So you guys, if you guys want one of these vessels just for decor or whatever the case you want to use them for, yes, you can go and get a vessel. Go over to queensofgarden.com right now and shop the Winter Blue collection. Get your candles, Get your candles, bitch. And now that we are here at the end of this video, thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around through my journey. I love Queens of Garden. I love making candles, and I love that you guys actually purchase my candles, and I love that you guys Instagram and send me photos of you using the candles. It really means a lot to me, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this collection. Guys, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure you are hitting that subscribe button and turn that bell notification icon on. You don't want to miss out on any future uploads. And go over and check me out on my Instagram page at I'm Will Carter. But make sure you guys are also following at Queens of Garden, because we are going to be posting more things Queens of Garden related. We're going to get a little bit better with my social media presence over on the Queens of Garden Instagram page, especially now that we have a new collection out. So stick around and stay over there so you can stay in the loop, okay? And with that all being said, I hope you guys have a beautiful good morning, beautiful good afternoon, and a beautiful good night, whichever part of the world you guys are living in. Goodbye. I'll see you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.